So, Garrett, and sticking with the theme of our, I don't know, courtroom movies, I guess.
Well, you don't know what the theme is between the two picks?
Nope.
Wow.
I don't even remember what we did last week.
12 Angry Men. It's literally above where you just posted for Craig to join.
I don't even know what Craig is, or 12 Angry Men.
Would you like to begin again, sir? Don't come into my podcast without being prepared.
Oh no, he turned it around on me. But in keeping with the spirit of, courtroom dramas and trying to find the truth, what movie
Justice
did you pick?
and the American Way.
What movie did you pick to supplement 12 Angry Men?
The 1992, the very, very 90s, My Cousin Vinny.
We should call Digital Drive-In Season 3, Digital Drive-In : The Double Bills.
Double Bills.
Because we're doing 2 every week.
Double colon.
Themes. It's basically films from the Treehouse, but on a smaller scale.
But, way better picks.
Uh-oh.
So this was both written and directed by Jonathan Lynn, who you may not recognize the name. But
Jonathan,
if you've...
never mind. You go.
Jonathan Swin. He really loves bikes.
Swin, you idiot.
I know that. He wrote and directed Clue, the extremely classic, and I wouldn't say it was underrated because people rate it highly. They just not a lot of people now talk about it much, but Clue.
It's a great movie.
If I didn't already mention that. And then also one of my favorite BBC series, Yes Minister and Yes Prime Minister. He did both of those, which are fantastic if you love political humor or any of those types of things. I'm trying to think of a good way to do it without spoiling anything, but it's kind of like how Blackadder, he's really smart, and then the people that are above him are really stupid.
Yeah,
it shows. Right. So it shows a lot of stuff with politics and red tape and the inefficiency of government and all the stuff that is really pronounced now, but actually is not a new thing. Those series touch on them. And I have the box set, of course, of both on DVD.
Because you're a nerd, though.
Because I'm a nerd.
Spaghetti.
So anyway,
Blackadder.
Yes.
Anyway.
So I love Joe Pesci. I think he's a fantastic actor.
I think he's pretty funny.
And it's neat to see him not being a psychopathic murderer.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's still a criminal in Home Alone.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to murder a child, so.
Yeah, so he tones down the language in Home Alone, but he still has the same type of character. But it's just interesting to see him just kind of play a guy.
Funny how?
Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's fucking fantastic in all those movies.
Sorry. And then, just kind of with Irishman this year, too. He was kind of a calmer role.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's 150?
Not that he's calm in this, but he's not, like you said, violent and over the top and murdery.
Yeah.
What is this movie about? Why did you pick it?
Well, it is sort of like how 12 Angry Men didn't show anything at all to do with the trial, and it had everything to do with the jury deliberation and how they were piecing together well, maybe this happened instead, or maybe this is why this witness isn't good enough, or we shouldn't believe what it is that they have to say because there's these other things that could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of takes that same type of idea, but puts it more in the courtroom of the lawyer asking these things.
Right.
But it's more involved than that, which is interesting to me because it has the setup of the characters. I mean, Vinny doesn't even come in it until 15 minutes into the movie. They're the last characters kind of that are introduced.
Yeah.
So it's about 2 guys who got accused of murder in Alabama that they were they're on their way back from college or
the sweaty armpit of the United States.
Yes, and I agree. Even though it was filmed in Georgia, but still.
The sweaty left armpit of the United States. I've
And
been to
Florida.
Georgia.
Florida's the big penis that's pissing on Cuba.
Yep. I've actually
So-
been to Georgia because I'm Canadian, so it's like a thing, right? Just saying. I've been outside of the country, dude.
Wow.
I feel like a lot of Canadians just stick it in the snow, considering we're
That's-
born in it.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't moved out of, or moved. I haven't visited outside of my country, but I've been to both coasts. So
Wow. I've come to your land and you haven't even visited mine?
yeah, I don't care.
You fuck.
This land is your land. I don't have a passport.
This land is my land. California, the New York Island.
So it's like, I think a movie like this, it would be very easy just to say everyone in Alabama is an idiot and they're all racial bigots. The end. And it's
Good
like
night, everybody.
they make some of those jokes or some indications of that. But for the most part, that's not even really a thing. Like, it doesn't put people from the South in a bad light. It's just like, those things are different.
Except for the asshole ones.
Well, sure. But I mean, it's like there's assholes anywhere.
Yep.
And really...
I'm talking to one right now.
I was gonna say,
Hey!
even the asshole in the movie is kind of endearing, the way he keeps coming up with the ways of like trying to get out of paying him for getting his ass kicked. It's like, I have the money here, and he's like, how do I know that's not just a 20 wrapped around a bunch of ones? And he's like, and it's when he has
Monopoly money,
and he just has that really bad day is when he finally actually punches him and takes the money.
Mm-hmm. He like jumps in the air and whaps him.
Yeah, it's so silly. That's one of the things I like. Like, the story is grounded, but some of the stuff that happens is like silly and ridiculous. That would like typically maybe take place in a sitcom or in a British comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think having that energy and having the ability to be straight and then silly and then back to straight again, I really like
nail
that.
it too.
Yeah,
it nails all of those feelings the whole time.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's like extremely hard to pull off. I mean, because normally, like when the movie first starts, the music is so like jarring because it's not like an orchestral score. It's like Southern country blues.
Yeah.
It's like this weird mixture, and it's like you're kind of like watching it going, ew, because it kind of seems like it doesn't fit.
Alabama.
Yeah, but I mean, it's weird. It's like by the end of the movie, you not even notice the music really.
Mm-hmm. That's just
it's almost
kind
a
of all
period
basic,
piece.
as I thought.
Say that again.
I thought it was fair that the music was kind of basic. That was why I didn't really recognize it towards the end. It was just kind of there.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but
No, I agree. I mean,
I don't know.
It's definitely not the pick that I would have used for the music.
For a music podcast.
Yeah.
I thought for some reason I thought that's what you meant. You would have used what? What kind of music would you have used instead?
I would have probably either used an orchestral score or I don't know. I mean, it's like the music of Roadhouse fits better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, it's not really Alabama music for sure.
That's more like ding 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 ding.
No, it's it's not Deliverance. Not that there aren't places that wouldn't be like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's to me it would be very easy to be stereotypical,
right,
with that, or play it up for laughs, which would have been really easy. Like, everyone's a podunk idiot here when they go into the bar, they hear the music, and Joe Pesci's like, "This is terrible. I want to listen to the Supremes or something."
Why in the Brooklyn Jazz not playing, huh?
Yeah, but it's like
everybody's treated kind of as a person almost.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when he pulls into town, it seems like there's some like weird music. Almost, it's not even rap. I can't even tell what it is really. It's just like some weird music that him and Marissa Tomei is listening to. But then I turn it off and they never mention it again. So it's just kind of weird.
Well, when you pair that with like they talk about the different laws and all that, and how Vinny has to be like well versed in the state laws
Mm-hmm.
I know the judge hands him that big book. I wonder if it's kind of meant to be along with the music and all that. Well, it's almost fish out of water, like, I suppose.
Yes.
Where he's got a, not only does he have to figure out his job because it's his first case ever, but he has to do it in a place where he's never been before or anything like that. But then everybody kind of being people kind of grounds it back down from being like otherworldly, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, because it could turn into a farce really quickly if you didn't have control of it.
Right.
You know, and it's like, I think at the same, you don't want it to be like a Doctor Strangelove thing where it's like everything that's actually happening is so ridiculous and that's what makes it funny.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a really smart script and the characters are really smart.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I like the fact that like really stupid things don't have to happen in order for them to win.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or it's not like some Deus Ex Machina at the very last second. You know, someone like runs through the door screaming, I did it, don't put those kids away."
It was me. I just couldn't live with myself if I saw them two boys go to the electric chair.
Right. You know,
so zap me instead.
So it's kind of like it was a off camera. They caught these guys in another state. Whoops, or what? You know.
Oh, I guess we shouldn't. Should we electrocute these boys for fun anyway? Okay.
Right, and that's the thing.
Oh,
I mean, it would be easy for them to do like the racial thing. I mean, because okay, Italian obviously isn't, you know, like if they were Mexican or African American or anything like that, it would be really easy to. It's like I like the fact that the jury was it was a mixed jury. There were men and women, or black and white. You know, so it's like that. It seemed like it was a decent representation of the town. That it's not like there. Probably not. I don't know, the stuttering guy.
What?
The stuttering guy. That was your representation.
You making fun of me? What are you trying to say here?
If it please the court. Apparently he was typecast after this.
You're an asshole.
Well, that's true.
Well, that's true.
I actually really like him as an actor. Austin Pendleton.
After this?
Yeah.
As what? Stutterer guy?
Yeah. Because apparently he actually did have a stutter, but he got over it.
Oh, he got over it. I thought you meant like he does have one, and he was trying to give his lines, but they just played it for laughs.
Oh no, that would have been terrible. No, but he was
like that with the chessboard. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Right? Yeah, he wasn't supposed to knock everything over. But
it's fucking hilarious.
But the guy was in Short Circuit. He was fantastic in Short Circuit. He was also in the Muppet movie. So it's like I kind of grew up with him as being like this cool actor.
Aw.
So it was neat to see him in this movie. I know. I actually wanted to do the Muppet movie.
We can do that.
I love that movie so much.
Coming soon, dude.
We should do like a kids. Oh, the thing is with YouTube, with the Copa thing or Coppa, whatever you say it. At the Copa.
On it though, can you not set it as being for adults? Because like we drop and swear left, right, and center.
Well, you can, but I think like if it's like anything to do with toys and this other stuff, I don't know how it will.
Fuck it, let's just do it anyway.
I'll just do it anyway. No, I mean it's
We're
under your
monetized.
name. It doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
If your heart ain't busy tonight. Okay, anyway.
Well, we'll have a bit of time before we do that. So
yeah, no, that's fine. But I think it would be fun because I love. That's the first movie I ever fell in love with, and I still love.
Oh.
I actually, my mom said that I wore the tape out and had memorized every line when I was little.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
I'm sure I have some. I'll get my mom on the line. We'll ask her what movie.
And ask her. Mother, do you think they'll try to watch my film?
I guess you're gonna have to watch the Pokemon movie, dude.
Well, I've never seen anything to do with Pokemon, so
they're really bad.
I also love Fred Gwynn.
Ooh.
He was Herman Munster. I love at the end he waves just like Herman Munster.
Yeah, he does a really good job too as the judge.
Yeah.
Again, kind of like just like the other lawyer. It's kind of just people doing their jobs, right?
Oh, Bruce McGill? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like
nobody's being an asshole.
They're all great character actors.
Yeah.
Which helps.
It's like Lucky. I don't know. That was a movie with a bunch of great character actors. Fuck me, I guess, huh?
No, well, you know I own it.
Yeah, you just didn't say anything. God.
I'm sorry. No, Bruce McGill is the sheriff. Lane Smith is the lawyer.
Wow, so you lied to me too.
Well, I don't know why it popped in my head, but that's who he was. You dumbass.
Yeah, but everybody's kind of like just a nice guy at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like the two guys that are on trial are kind of like the blank slates, and you don't really know anything about them or their personalities, which is like perfect to not, because you don't read anything into them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I thought that was a good, like, the movie starts with them, and you think they're going to be the main thing for the entire movie, which is kind of disappointing because they're bland. But it's like literally once they get put in prison, there's very few scenes with them, and almost everything turns into just following Vinny and everything that he's doing for the trial.
Yeah, which I'm okay with because Joe Pesci rules. But
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. To me, it takes a smart scriptwriter to realize, no, don't spend more time with these characters because they're not the reason why you're here.
Right.
Especially for a movie that's like 2 hours long.
Yeah. It's kind of just an entertaining thing. People are here really to see Joe Pesci.
Yeah. And the dialogue is really snappy.
Yeah, absolutely. It just fires off back and forth constantly.
I like the one where Ralph Macchio is talking to him, and it's like, yeah, your parents argue, but like when they argue, they're professional. Your parents are amateur arguers.
I think even more of a joy to follow than Vinny is Marissa Tomei's character, who like steals every scene she's in. I don't know.
Oh yeah, she sure does.
Hilarious, absolutely hilarious.
I mean, that's the, like, people always talk about like women being portrayed well.
Yeah.
In a film, it's like she has her own wants and desires. She has her own personality. She's smart. Joe Pesci actually needs her and her expertise at the end to be able to help solidify the case. But it's like they argue and she's able to hold her own and do all those things. But then she's not like just tagging along with him and doesn't have a thought in her own head and has to be saved or any of these other things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she's just another well-written character.
Yeah.
If anything, you feel sorry for her being so much younger than him.
Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't understand. I was like, how did Joe Pesci get her? That's what I was thinking most of the movie. That's the only thing I could think about. I was like, this doesn't seem right. Joe is bum Vinny that impressive is what I mean. Apparently he is.
I mean, Joe Pesci seems to be like, everyone are mechanics in the family. Mm-hmm. And Joe Pesci he went to law school, and it took him a while, but he passed the bar. So it's like 6 times the charm. So, I mean, it's like he basically kind of started to get into trouble in his life, but he was able to turn himself around. He probably at least had the way he dresses and everything. He might be a little flashy, but it seems like he might have some amount of money. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, he's obviously really smart. So it's like I could see it being, it's one of those things to where, at stereotypical, a really smart woman has a hard time finding a guy.
Sure.
So it's like the fact that maybe there were other guys that were better looking than Joe or taller or any of these other things, but like he was able to keep up with her intellectually, and so she might have found that interesting. And then it's the same part as she was saying, like, her younger sister or her niece or whatever got engaged before she did, so it might have just been like she's tried to be with other guys and it just never worked out, but it kind of is working out with Joe.
I mean, I don't even know how old Marissa Tomei is in this movie. She just looks young, maybe. Maybe she was written to be a comparable age, because she says the niece is, 10 years younger than her, but getting married?
But I was thinking she's either 27 or 29.
Right.
And Joe's like late 40s, early 50s.
Joe's like 84.
Hey!
It's pretty funny looking, too.
Wow. I'll let you tell him that.
Funny. Funny how? Well, am I funny looking? Like a clown? Do I amuse you?
I've never looked to see, is Joe Pesci even married?
It's what it is, Garrett.
Oh, apparently his spouse did not last very long. Oh, Jesus.
What?
So from 88 to 92, this is the name of the girl he was married to. Do a little Google search there.
Claudia Harrow? Did you just get... Is somebody at your
Yeah.
door?
Yeah, I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that.
That's all right. What was it?
Yeah, my neighbor, we have like boxes that they will put the mail in,
Mm-hmm.
and then they put the key in our mail slot so that we can just grab the key and grab the stuff out of the box without having to worry about anybody stealing it.
Mm-hmm.
They switched the keys on us, so it's like my stuff was in his box and his stuff was in my box.
So he's like, what is all this weird porn movies? I don't even know what these are.
No, so it's it was I left his with him, and then he had to go unlock and get mine out. So he just wanted to tell me that. No, he just wanted to tell me he appreciated it.
No, I meant Joe Pesci's ex-wife.
Oh,
Is that what it was?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that she is like a model.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, out of all the people that you want to fuck with, don't fuck with Joe Pesci. Jesus. It's like fucking with Jack Nicholson. To me, there are certain actors you know better than to mess with.
Yeah.
I would think.
Don Rickles.
Don Rickles.
Don't want to mess with him.
So many gangsters. A guy that would stand up and say those things to Frank Sinatra's face and laugh, and he didn't get hit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. What a guy.
I love Don Rickles.
Me too.
It's a guy who literally would equally make fun of everyone, but at the same time, like, have people's backs and have helped a lot of people's careers.
He made fun of everybody, but he loved everybody.
I don't know if he loved everybody.
Well, you know what I mean. he wasn't like racist or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he made fun of everybody.
Well, the thing is, he made fun of the people that had certain perceptions.
Right.
Like, he had the ability to take on the character of someone being racist to show how stupid and infantile that way of thinking was.
Yeah, the Blazing Saddles method.
Exactly. The Dave Chappelle method. He was able to do the same type of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and not just get away with it, but make a huge and wonderful point about it. Not everyone is able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Least of all,
because
bam.
The people that are like super racist,
like,
don't notice the difference.
Right.
So
where were we?
We were talking about how someone like a little short Italian could get someone like Marissa Tomei.
The end of story. All I'm saying is that
Aunt May.
I know the only reason you picked this movie.
What?
It's because it was shot by Lynch's cinematographer.
How big of a deep dive did you go to see who?
What? You think I don't know? You think I don't know my DPs?
Sure.
His name popped up in the opening credits, and I went, "That's why Garrett picked it." I didn't have to look anything up. There's zero deep dive involved, you dummy. God, what do you think? I'm a moron? Don't answer that.
Well, he was also the DP of Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
And Loaded Weapon 1.
You're a dummy.
But he didn't... he wasn't a DP for the original Twin Peaks series.
No, but Lost Highway, Mulholland Drive, and Twin Peaks.
Yeah, well, and On the Air and Hotel Room.
So he did stuff that was
directly,
I would say, very tonally related to what Twin Peaks is, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cabin in the Woods as well. Now You See Me Too. Ooh, he did Goldmember and Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery.
And The Love Guru.
Wait, did he not do the second Austin Powers?
That was probably while he was shooting Mulholland Drive.
Ah, well, smart of him to go for that one then. He actually won the Independent Spirit Award for Best Cinematography for Mulholland Drive.
And he's the cinematographer for the New Mutants, if you didn't say that already.
I did see that. I saw it, didn't say it. He was nominated for an Emmy for cinematography for Twin Peaks.
But of course, he didn't win.
What did win?
Something fucking stupid, probably.
Creative Arts Emmys. Genius. Picasso. Yeah,
This was edited by the same.
We're not going to talk about that.
It's edited by the same guy who did the Pirates of the Caribbean movie and Avatar.
Huh.
And Hot Dog the movie.
Well, that movie's terrible, but the other two, at least he has a sense of like snappiness, which is probably why this movie feels so like upbeat and fun. Like we were talking about.
Oh, he edited Robin Hood Men in Tights.
There you are. So he just kind of understands snappy timing, and then also he made Hot Dog. But that came before all of these, right? So wasn't that an 80s movie?
Hot Dog?
Yeah. So he made all these afterwards, so he had time to hone in his talents.
Santa Baby.
Well, what else you want to talk about?
Wait a minute, I have to see when fucking Hot Dog was.
What else you want
Okay,
to talk
Hot
about?
Dog was 84. Yeah, it was. Wow.
What else you want to talk about?
Oh, did you see that Frank Capra III was the first assistant director?
I did. Wait, did I? No, I didn't. As in related to the Frank Capra?
Well, yeah.
How is he
And
related?
He's the third.
What?
He also was
Reincarnation?
location management for Escape from New York. What did you think about Jerry Callow?
I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, not everything in it is like not Aaron Sorkin level of writing, but
Most of this movie I found to be like I enjoyed the drama more than I laughed, I guess. But then when the comedy bits were there, they were hilarious.
yeah, it's not really laugh out loud funny. It's more amusing funny.
Yeah, and I think part of it came from how good the script was too.
Yeah, to me, it solely relies on script and acting.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's there's some things, and I wanted to watch it after 12 Angry Men because it kind of plays with like the standard maybe that 12 Angry Men presented, like the whole like glasses thing about her having the glasses marks on her nose, and then that one guy is like, "You wear glasses, don't you?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm."
Readers.
Yeah, they're readers. I'm farsighted, so it's like, whoops.
Well, I'm short-sighted because I didn't see that one coming.
No, you mean nearsighted. But this movie was written by the same guy who wrote Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Yeah, didn't you also write Clue? You already covered this.
No.
Deja vu, dude.
The screenwriter that was credited wrote Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. The guy that directed this was the one that wrote and directed.
Oh, gotcha. Well, what else you want to talk about?
Well, it's sort of like every single thing isn't like the most accurate ever or whatever, and some of the stuff they kind of streamline. But there's a lot of accuracies about the way like court demeanor is and about discovery of evidence. And
well, I mean, I've heard it's one of the, if not the most accurate movie to the legal process.
Right.
I know they had lawyers kind of on site checking over things some of the times as well too.
Some stuff was actually taken from court transcripts of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the sheriffs that like they mentioned in another place was like the name of a sheriff from that town that they filmed in. There were a few things like that seemed to actually be, I want to say like the trivia mentions that as well.
Sure. I know a lot of
the director has a law degree.
Oh, okay.
So he's the one
that certainly helps.
Yeah, I remember there was something.
I know a lot of the way that Vinny does some of the cross-examinations are pretty spot on to how actual lawyers would cross-examine some witnesses, especially related to like the going over the photographs of the guys, like the trailer guy and his site.
Right. Yeah, it's like I like the fact that like it showed him going there and asking them questions, and then like there's a lot of stuff in the movie that's set up. Like they set that up, and then they show him going over those same things. They show him like taking pictures of stuff and seeing like line of sight, and then using that later. So I like the fact that they didn't just pull a whole bunch of stuff out to be surprising. It's like they actually in the script set it up, had the characters do the thing that the character would know to do, and then it pay off at the end.
Right. There was a lot of that, a lot of smart stuff in the script, like the setup with the grits early on.
And how long it took to make them and everything.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was another one as well too. Or was it that one that I was like yelling to you about off air when it was happening.
That you were yelling to me about?
Yeah, I was like, the grits, the grits.
Oh, yes.
It was the grits. Because there was a lot of stuff like that where it was just clever, what's the word, man? Payoffs to a lot of the setups.
Yeah, like the Chekhov's gun, basically. It's screenwriting 101. If you introduce something, you have to pay it off later.
Yeah. So I thought a lot of the script was super clever and really well done.
I agree. Let's see, the quote, dead on balls accurate, is a reference to an actual attorney named Joey Callow.
Oh, well, there you go.
I mean, it's one of those movies that's kind of like, it's considered like a 90s classic. I feel like a lot of people have probably seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a lighter film. I mean, typically it's probably, I don't even know, were you surprised that I even would like a film like this? Because,
Yeah.
okay.
It's very conventional.
Yeah.
The second the movie started and they got put in jail, I was like, well, I mean, they're going to get out of it at the end, obviously.
Right.
It was one of those, like, I kind of knew where it was going the whole time, but I think because of the actors and obviously the script kind of carried me through, and I wanted to see it out to the point where at the end of it, especially when Marissa Tomei is giving like her testimony, I was like actually engaged in the movie and like really, really, really into it. But yeah, I was slightly shocked that you would pick something like this, but I think the genius of the script kind of explains most of that, and Joe Pesci.
Yeah, and it reached me at a point before I became extremely cynical, because like I said, I saw this when I was like 13 or 14. I didn't see it at the theater, but they played it on TV a lot. And one of the things that I had mentioned to you that I found out in the trivia was that really the only thing in this that is objectionable, the reason it's rated R, is because of the language. But they refilmed the scenes of dialogue with that language so that the actor could just say it rather than them editing out the stuff, so that it could basically be shown complete on TV. Yeah.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be any like bleeps or anything like that.
So it wasn't jarring.
Yeah, it still felt natural, even though it was its own thing. I kind of want to watch that version too and see how different it actually is.
I don't know. I kind of wish that those types of things were like special features on a movie.
Yeah.
Because
like when Sonic comes out, I wish like they had the old cut.
The original.
Yeah.
So that's when I was growing up, I watched Smokey and the Bandit on TV, where they would like say like all of the phrases would be different, and it was hilarious.
This is what happens, Donnie. This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps. The Alps, whatever. This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass, Donnie.
Monday to Friday airplane.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
That's yes. Because some of those are just hilarious.
Yeah, some of them are awful.
I mean, that's the thing too. Like I'm kind of. I mean, I know why it didn't happen, but I'm kind of surprised I didn't go into some type of or try to have some sort of a career in things like this, because Perry Mason was like one of my favorite TV shows.
Oh, why you didn't try to do law?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about it for a while too.
I mean, I kind of do something like that now, but I can't talk about it.
Why not? Talk about it right now to me. Tell me. Tell me all your state secrets.
First off, I can't. Secondly, you're recording.
Betray your country. Betray your country.
Uh-huh. So, it's interesting to me, like the meta score is a 68 for this movie, which I think is ridiculously low.
That's high on Metacritic.
68?
It's in the greens, yeah. It's a decent score for Metacritic. I think it has like a 7.9 or something on IMDb, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Metacritic is fucking weird, dude. But I can definitely see how it is considered one of those 90s classics. I almost said modern classic, but
I mean, it is relatively modern.
Yeah, modern-ish.
I mean, considering the fact that it is available on Blu-ray and played a lot on television, and it's not like an obscure movie. I mean, it has 100,000 votes on IMDb.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of it constantly. So when you picked it, I already knew of it. I just never seen it. This was my first time watching this movie.
Had an $11 million budget and made $64 million worldwide.
That's pretty good.
So, yeah, technically a hit.
A smashing success.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of, I mean, some comedies, I almost feel like are universal, but a lot of the comedies that I really like, don't get rated that high.
No.
But I think a lot of the comedies that I like are actually like really smart, and you have to really pay attention.
Yeah, or yeah, but you just have a weird ass sense of humor.
Well, that too. So both. I don't necessarily think this is a weird sense of humor movie, though.
No, not at all. I think it's more of just maybe it's very conventional, and I don't know. Maybe some people went into it seeing Ralph Macchio and expecting them to have more of a role. I think Robert Ebert criticized that.
Oh, what is Ebert now?
Nothing.
Well, he's the same one that like didn't like Full Metal Jacket, and then he thought Blue Velvet was terrible.
Yeah, it's almost like subjectivity is the thing in movies.
Nope.
You're right. Garrett's way or the highway.
That's how I be.
I'll be on the couch. You know it. You know how I be.
Yeah, there's 39,000 people, or almost 39,000 people on Letterboxd that say they have watched it.
Yeah, that's actually not that high.
Wow. Maybe for people like you that like a bunch of fucking popular movies.
This is supposed to be a popular movie. You literally just said it's a popular movie. Sorry, dumbass.
Sorry. I wonder what the most popular movie I've seen is.
You're gonna do this on air?
No, I was just wondering.
Oh.
Wow, seriously?
Parasite. That's the most popular
338,000 people have seen this. It's the #1 movie on Letterboxd. Give me a fucking break. I mean, look at that top 5. Parasite, Get Out, Joker, Spider-Man, and Pulp Fiction.
Those are literally my top 5 too.
That's probably why they are.
Wow!
Every single one of those I rated 4 stars.
You know, it just means you like movies that most people like.
No, I'm saying I didn't think that any of those movies are great.
Wow. Whatever. You're a fucking idiot. How about that? That's right, I'm mocking you.
I don't care.
The Favorite is up there.
Oh, there's no way to do least popular?
Yeah, you just hit the fucking button, you idiot.
Yeah, well, I have 156 pages of film.
You just hit that one. 156 then. Page 156. Bad Labor is my bottom one.
How many people?
6, including both of us. I know you probably have some that are just you, but
yeah. Riff Tracks Live, Giant Spider Invasion 1.
Oh God. I'll never watch that.
Sonic 2013.
Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah. It's an 18-minute short.
Mm.
But that can't be right because it says 599. I know there's stuff I've seen that's less than that because I fucking put it on there.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Maybe if you weren't a moron.
Big rocks and long props. I am the only person. I actually added it on there, and I did a website review, and I own the DVD.
Jesus. Just goes to show that you are a weird fucking dude. How about that?
Rocket Attack USA. I'm only the second person to have seen it, apparently. I don't see.
But you've also seen all the normie movies, so I don't know what your point is. They all counterbalance each other, Garrett.
What is the least seen movie that I've rated 5 stars?
Jeez. Well, do you have anything else you want to do for this?
Nah, I think that pretty much so covers it.
Well,
I mean, other than you just
now?
like start doing a whole bunch of quotes or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a very quotable movie.
It is. It's a very entertaining movie. I was glad that I finally got around to watching it.
So, if you like what you've heard, be sure to give us a big like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Twitter. The links are in the description, as well as Letterboxd to see what kind of films we are watching. Be sure to come back next week to see the next movie that Alex will pick. He doesn't know what it is, but eventually he will pick it, and eventually you will know what it is. We'll catch you next time on the Digital Drive-In Podcast.
I can't believe he did the outro. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Also, eventually we're going to do the best of 2019 cast, so that might be coming soon.
Yeah, lots of stuff. Lots of fun stuff in the pipeline. In the ghetto.
Well, bye.